Hello and welcome to a video tutorial for the Ubuntu Challenge and anybody interested, to be honest with you. Today we are going over software installation. And yes, I know that seems odd given that this is 2015 and if you've owned a computer in the last 10 years, you've probably installed software before. But on alternative operating systems, and specifically Linux, the way that things are installed is a little bit different and requires a little bit of foreknowledge before you can actually really enjoy your system. Linux has never enjoyed the on-the-shelf experience that, say, Windows or Apple has. So you just can't go to Best Buy or Circuit City or Fry's. Circuit City doesn't even exist anymore. Or any of those other big box stores, Walmart even, and install software from a CD. Now that is great in the modern era, given that most CD-ROM drives have been removed from laptops, and most of the software at the store can be downloaded, usually a newer version from an online resource, without any need for physical media. But with that all being said, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to install software on Ubuntu 15.10. It'll also work with anything from 14.04 and greater. And most likely in newer version 16.04 and going forward. But without further ado, we're going to go through the standard version first, and then we shall go through the integrated version, and then the efficient version. So, standard version. On your launcher, you should see an icon for the Ubuntu Software Center. If it's not there, you can go to the dash and the applications area and type in software, and there it is. The Ubuntu Software Center. Alright, the Ubuntu Software Center is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It is an app store, very similar to all the other app stores that are out there, to be honest with you, with all software installed, history and progress above, and the categories to the left, what's new on the very first thing that you see, recommended for you, which on your machine you may see a small dialog that says please log into your Ubuntu One account or create a Ubuntu One account. I suggest that you do this. It allows you to rate the applications as well as make comments on the programs that you really like or the programs that you really don't like. It also gives you other benefits that are in the works from Canonical and Ubuntu for future versions. Below that, you have top rated. These are the applications that, of course, people have rated. And as you can see, most of them have quite a few 5-star ratings from 486 people. VLC is very well liked. If you have a video file that you cannot play, VLC can probably play it. But we are going to install Stellarium, which is an astronomy program. Actually, it's like a virtual planetarium, as you can see from the description. It is free, as you can see up here. If it is not free, this will give you the price tag, and it'll say buy. That is another place there you need the Ubuntu One account that is linked to credit cards and secure download servers and jazz like that. I won't read all the explanations of it, but just kind of give you an idea of what all is on here. Some wonderful, some comments. As you can see, most people just think it's an amazing program, and it is. I highly recommend it for anybody out there who just likes looking up at the stars, lives in a place where it's always cloudy, or just really wants a really good, graphically rich application that is somewhat educational. So, clicking install will do exactly what you'd expect it to do. It installs it. It will ask for your password. I'm going to go ahead and put in my password here. And it begins the install. On the top bar, you see the progress icon beginning to spin and a number beside it. The number beside it, of course, is represents the number of software pieces of software that are being installed or uninstalled on your system. You will also see an icon down here show directly up on your launcher, which is where most applications go by default. There are a couple of them that don't, but for the most part, they'll end up down here. And it'll give you a little progress bar to say that it's installing. Now, one of the greatest benefits to the software center is that it can actually be closed now. You can just close it down and go about your day and just continue. It'll continue installing the software behind the scenes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Well, actually, no, we're not. We're going to pop around a little bit more in here. On all software, beside it, you'll see this little down arrow. The little down arrow will give you a list of all the sources that these applications are coming from. Now, I show you this because it is a little bit different in Ubuntu than it is in most other operating systems, and actually quite a few other non-Ubuntu Linux distributions. Each of these that are on here, from AppGrid down to OwnCloud, are PPAs, which is a personal package archive. A package is basically the Linux world's equivalent to software DMGs, I guess, is the probably the best analog on Macs, or they're just software installation files, but they don't always have to be software. They can be other things as well. So each of these is found on a different site from different distributors. Most of them are security signed by the developers of the software. So there's less chance of viruses and other things like that getting on your system. Well, I show you this because later on we will go through installing Spotify and a couple other applications that require us to add a PPA, and in that strain of thought the string of thought that we will go that route. Google is another great example, and GitDev as well. But okay, so you'll probably only see provided by Ubuntu, canonical partners, and for purchase. These are really not for anyone to just kind of poke around in. As you can see, it kind of removes some of the layout from the interface, and you just get list with the name of the thing and the thing beside it. Now, that being said, if you click on the application and go to more info, you'll get the same basic layout as you would have gotten from any of the applications in the store. As you see, this one actually even has a video attached to it. Unfortunately, this was not designed for the version of Ubuntu that I have, and this is the information you'll get if you run into that problem. It happens probably more than I would like to admit. And it's also one of the biggest issues facing Ubuntu and the Linux world, to be honest, and that is they iterate far too fast for the rest of the world to keep up. Where Windows only iterates every 7 years or so, but tries its darndest to maintain backward compatibility. Mac OS updates every year or so, maybe every 2 years, and also tries to maintain backward compatibility. Ubuntu moves so quickly that every 6 months there is a new version of Ubuntu. And for the most part, these applications would actually be compatible with the new version. But by the time that the next LTS version, which is the long-term support version of Ubuntu, comes out, which is every 5 years, the libraries, the graphical capabilities, the desktop may have all changed. Which is great for the consumer because you always have a fresh and new experience. You always have the newest of the new software. What is bad is that programs that were designed for purchase a lot of times just can't keep up. So there are plans to get to fix that. So it's not a large issue, though it is an issue and something people should be aware of. Okay, so Stellar, the planetarium application is still installing, and so we will just go ahead and get rid of this because we wasted enough time on that one. And now we'll go to the integrated way of installing software. In the dash, which is your go-to place for almost everything on Ubuntu, there is the ability to install software. Now, It does not necessarily work here in the home. There's just far too many things that it's trying to categorize for you. And we'll talk about the dash and all of its neat features at a later date. But we'll go ahead and go to the application tab, which is where we want to be. And let's say we want to find, I don't know. Let's say we want to find a game of some sort. So we'll type in, here, I know one. We'll type in Cube 2. Oh, well, yes, okay, that'll work. Okay, so Cube 2 is a really amazing game engine that is open source. It has been for many, many years, and it doesn't get near the love that it really should. It is the engine behind Project Banana Bread, which is a HTML5 re-implementation of the Cube 2 engine, where you can play a fully fleshed out 3D deathmatch game completely from your web browser, but it is not using anything like Java or Flash. It is using just HTML5 and the Cube 2 engine. It also has a built-in editor, which, again, we won't talk about that much in this video, but as you can see, you can in typing in Cube 2, you have a little guy that says free underneath it, which basically says that is not installed on your system. Clicking on it, okay, good, it didn't make me a liar. Okay, clicking on it will show you a screenshot of the said application, the description of the application, and I believe it does ratings, but it doesn't look like anybody has actually rated it, but that's fine. Clicking on free download will do exactly what you think it would do. And it's probably going to make me a liar. Looks like it's going... Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay, so because the other program is installing, apparently it's taking a sweet time. All right, so anyway, put in your password again. Now, I know that a lot of people probably find this annoying that it asks for passwords almost for everything. Believe me, it is better that it does that than it doesn't. Now, as you can see, it installs an icon on your launcher just as Stellar, that other program did. And it has a little thing out to the side saying waiting to install. Even though there is a way for apt-get or the underlying software, installation software to pull multiple sources and all that at the same time, the safer route is to always have it do one at a time. So while that other program is installing, we have to wait for Red Eclipse to install. So that is how to install software via the dash. Super easy, super fast, super integrated. And so let's go on and show just a little bit more about that. Say we already have some software installed. Let's go ahead and just scrolling down here. And we say, you know what, we don't actually use this for anything, and it's really kind of pointless. So let's go ahead and uninstall something. I'm trying to find something that I actually don't use. Okay, well, how about the GNOME music player client, which we'll probably reinstall later on in another tutorial. Okay, so if you click on it, it's going to open up. I'm not even going to edit that one out because that was just me being silly. See, everybody makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. All right, so right-clicking on it, you will get the same thing that you got with Red Eclipse, except now the buttons are different. You have Launch, which seems kind of silly, but I guess if you didn't know exactly what you were about to launch, it would be a good way to kind of stop that and go, wait, do I really want to open up this application or not? It gives you the version number, the open source. Basically, there's a difference between open source, proprietary, free, and pay. And then it gives you, of course, all that other fun stuff. Oh, it also gives you the installed on date. Clicking on uninstall will do exactly what you'd expect it to do. It's probably going to pop up my password here in a second, unless it remembers that I used it just a second ago. Oh, and that is one of the other benefits. A lot of times, if you put in your administrative password once, it remembers and then just uses it for all other functionality. So that is uninstalling applications through the dash, installing, uninstalling applications through the dash. If we open back up the Software Center, which I left open for, various reasons, if you go over to progress, you can actually see how things are progressing. Stella, that first program we installed, or told to install, is still downloading. It's a relatively large program. Actually, no, it's not. My internet connection is a little bit slow at the moment. I'm installing a bunch of software on another machine for later videos, so you have to bear with us here. But we're pretty much done with this video anyway. And then, of course, you have Red Eclipse is this next one. It doesn't give you the name, which I wish it would. And then removing packages, of course, is the GNOME music player client. And it'll just go through its little thing and just as it does, it does. We could actually, again, we could close down this window if you wanted to, and it would continue to work in the background. Sometimes it's better to have it open just for the sake of errors. If something does happen and the software center is not open, like internet connection fails or something like that, it may not tell you, and you just don't have your software installed, and that can be very confusing. All right, so that's two of the three ways. The third way is the good old command line. Now, a lot of people, what I just did was I hit Control Alt and T. In Unity, that is the hotkey, the default hotkey to open up the terminal. It doesn't work on all the desktops, but that's more on that later. All applications are installed using either two mechanics. There's apt-get, so let's say by default. So there's apt-get, and then there's dpackage, or dpkg, which is a dpackage. Ubuntu uses a specific type of package called .deb or deb file. It's similar to an exe or a DMG file for Mac users. But let's just say that the apt-get program pulls the applications off the internet and installs it for you, uses dpackage to configure the application, as well as actually I think dpackage does the actual installation, where apt-get just does the grabbing in the keeps things in line. So unfortunately, we can't install anything using apt-get while the other program is installing other things, because it's using apt-get in the background. But we can show you the basic command structure for it. So what I would suggest, or what I would say, is that apt-get is what the other two applications are for the command line, but I already know what I'm going to install and know the name of it, so this should be extremely easy. So apt-get install name of program. So if I wanted to install Blender, I'm hitting the tab in order to speed up things. As command line completion, there's Blender. Hitting the button, it will install Blender. Unfortunately, again, because it is installing other things, I can't install anything on here at the present moment. You could also do, like, say, Chromium, which is lowercase. Chromium, which is a browser. It is the open source version of Google Chrome, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. If you're not, there is going to be a tutorial on installing Google Chrome and a couple other places, which we're going to call, probably going to call that installing external software. Will probably be the title of the video. I just wanted to show you how to install applications by default using the default methods found on Ubuntu. So that's it. I wish I could show you guys a little bit more, but that's really all there is to it. Once they're installed, they're installed. You can uninstall them. You can play with them, whatever you want to do. I hope this was entertaining or informative. If it was neither, just wait, we'll find one that is entertaining and informative for you. If you did like this video, or if you know anybody that might like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. You will find, well, currently not very much, but in the coming weeks we will be just churning out these videos for our Ubuntu Challenge users. If you want to be a part of the Ubuntu Challenge, feel free to drop us a line at well, actually, just drop me a line at bflanagan@vagueentertainment.com, or add a comment in the comments below. We are also looking for people to help us have more hardware to give out. So if you have any old laptops or desktops that you're not currently using that you think would be good for the show, or if you would like to give us in the form of monetary donations, we have a Patreon page. Also, it's probably above us in the title bar. There's a Patreon button. Just go ahead and just whatever you can give. It'll go directly into making more shows or some of the software that Vega Entertainment is currently developing. And hopefully we will have all that stuff for you guys at a later date. Look, Stellar. Okay, so as we're talking, Stellarium has installed. As you can see, Red Eclipse is now nearly installed. And I say nearly. Holy cow! No, it's not nearly at all. My eyes are just not very good. You can probably see in the video better than I can see on the screen because that's just the way it goes. Background light is weird. Anyway, thank you again. Like and subscribe if you like and subscribed it. Or, yeah, do that. And we'll see you next time.